What is up, guys? Mastar here. Today I am with two very special guests. We have Unreal and Gaming and Lord Frieza. You guys want to say hello?
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
What's going on, everybody?
The YouTube's Lord Frieza guy here, so you might hear me talk like this a lot on my channel, etc., etc.
So these two channels are very popular Dragon Ball channels on YouTube. Lord Frieza in particular, well, he does like Let's Plays and a lot of different things with the voice acting. Unreal and Gaming, I'm sure a lot of you guys are very familiar with. He does a ton of Dragon Ball videos and gameplay videos and things like that. Today, the topic we're going to be discussing is Lord Frieza in the Tournament of Power. So as I'm sure you guys know, episode 93, as we've seen from spoilers, Frieza will be returning to Dragon Ball Super as Goku tries to recruit him for the Tournament of Power. So what we've done, we've assembled some questions for us, and we're going to talk about these between the three of us. And this is going to be kind of like a community questions as well, because we know these are a lot of topics that fans are actually wondering and have been commenting throughout the latest videos. So the first question that we're going to talk about: where would you put, in terms of strength, where would you put Frieza in the top 10 fighters of the Universe 7 team? Unreal, let's start with you.
Well, that's a tricky one. For me personally, having to look at the way Frieza is as a whole, we saw how strong he was during the Resurrection F movie, and during that time period before his body pressure got to him and he wasn't able to sustain his form, he was relatively weaker than Goku, as Goku and Vegeta both beat him down, especially Vegeta in that case having to take Frieza and just pretty much allow him to go from his golden form right back down to his final form. But having to look at all the characters now, like Android 17 and especially Ultimate Gohan, it's kind of hard to say where Frieza fits now. I would like to say that, to me, having to look at Goku and Vegeta, I don't think that Golden Frieza even comes close to even surpassing them in terms of power. But in my opinion, having to look at where Frieza fits, throughout the entire list, minusing Goku and Vegeta, I think that he would probably come in best at either between number 3 or 4 next to Gohan, because we still haven't seen what Gohan is going to do with his father, and especially looking at Gohan's feats now in challenging and rivaling his father in terms of strength, I think that once we have a definitive answer on whether or not Frieza is able to mimic the same form he did during the ROF movie and arc, and utilizing that in the tournament, whether or not he's stronger or weaker than how he was before is up in the air. But I think that between him and Gohan, they're tied in at number 3, because we don't even know how strong Gohan is now. For all we know, Gohan could be somewhere near to what Frieza was during that movie, if not stronger. But again, until he comes back and we see him on screen and they give us a definitive answer, then I think it's safe to say where we're going to put him. But I definitely would say between 3 or 4.
I think Gohan's going to be stronger. I put him more near like Android 17, because from the 90s spoilers, it sounds like Gohan is basically right now evenly matched with Goku. At least it just says he can hold his own. So, you got to realize that right now Goku is way stronger than when he fought Golden Frieza in the Resurrection of F arc, because we had the Universe tournament between 6 and 7. Then we had the whole Goku Black arc. Goku and Vegeta got tons of like Zenkai boosts, and they came back way stronger. So I don't think that he's Gohan level if Gohan is able to match with Goku right now, but he could be around Android 17 level, but definitely stronger than Boo. That's for sure. What about you, Lord Frieza? What do you think?
Well, if you want Lord Frieza's opinion, I think you're both assholes for comparing me to filthy monkeys. But, nonetheless, Unreal, we're going to have a discussion later. How dare you? If you want my personal opinion, I think, the thing about Golden Frieza that I always found was just astounding. The power leap that he got from, Z to Super was just unfathomable. It was unrealistic. I personally think he's the strongest potential character in all of Dragon Ball, personally, when he decides to train.
That's a good point.
4 months of training.
But he's not training. He's in hell.
He's actually he never trained. Well, he's in hell. So I don't really think he's lost any of his golden form. He's just going to be stuck at the same level he was before. He hasn't had time to master it. So I don't know. He was able to make that much of a leap in 4 months. Maybe when Goku comes to him and asks him about the tournament, maybe he'll get a couple hours worth of training in or something to maybe handle that stamina issue. Because if you guys don't remember, his actually power was greater than Super Saiyan Blue in the Resurrection of F arc. He just couldn't hold the form long enough, and as his power, literally, I guess you could equate it to like how Goku said the only reason why he was able to sustain Super Saiyan 3 is because his body was already dead. He didn't have to worry about the pressure from the ki and stuff. So, it's kind of similar.
Here's something interesting though, because you were just talking about he's not going to have time to train. Now we know that Vegeta is actually going to the Room of Spirit and Time for like the last 9 hours or something. What if like Frieza comes out and he's like, I need some time to train, and then like Frieza goes in the room Spirit of Time with Vegeta and they train together?
It would never work, man. Vegeta and Frieza would be in there with a battle to the death within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think the worst thing you can do is actually train Frieza, because with his potential and his growth, the room of growth that he has with him, I think that training such a person would be it would be beneficial for the tournament, for tournament purposes, but having him train as a whole, I mean, and then after the tournament, you never know what may happen. He might even surpass
backfire
Goku and Vegeta in terms of strength.
But I kind of agree with Unreal's placement of where he put Frieza, though. If I had to place him in the universe, the 10 fighters from Universe 7, I would probably place him somewhere between the 3rd and 4th spot. We don't know where Gohan is yet in terms of power, even with his ultimate form. I know I've only seen up to episode 87. I'm 2 episodes behind right now, so I haven't seen Goku and Gohan fight yet. And I heard about that, and I heard it was really, really good. So
they haven't fought yet. They actually fight.
Oh, they haven't fought yet
this coming weekend. Yeah.
Okay, they're fight. Okay. So that fight's coming up. Okay, cool. So I'll be caught up by then. Good. That's good to know. Actually.
Yeah, that's gonna be a really good episode.
I guess I don't know. I kind of want to put Gohan and Frieza in a 3rd place tie, because we don't know we know where Frieza can go, but we don't know where Gohan can go. So it's kind of like, and yes, Super Saiyan Blue has definitely surpassed Frieza's golden form in terms of power since Resurrection F.
Tremendously.
I mean, the amount of Zenkai boost and 3 years of training in the Room of Spirit and Time and stuff, like it's definitely a long time of training for Super Saiyan Blue. So it's really hard to say.
Okay, so we're all pretty close in consensus. Is somewhere around like in between 3 and 5 or something like that.
It's going to be really interesting to see where Gohan goes with his newfound power again.
It's going to be even more interesting seeing Frieza meet the androids for the first time.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting seeing Frieza find out that there's other universes
and other Saiyans. And that's actually the last question. Well, we can talk about that now. How do you guys think that Frieza is going to react to the introduction of the Universe 6 Saiyans?
He is gonna throw a fit. I mean, it's bad enough knowing the fact that there's filthy Saiyan monkeys that exist in his universe, and having to find out that there's more. For me personally, I always found Frieza to be more or less like those scumbag like characters, and I feel like it'll be a great scene to see how he would react upon not just seeing Kaba, but seeing Kali and Kale, and having to mock them for being females, because how awesome would it be to see either final form Frieza or even Golden Frieza combat the likes of, Kale in her Berserk mode or in her legendary Super Saiyan form, and even with that against Kaba as well. So I think that his overall reaction, he's not going to be happy. If anything, he might target them, because it wouldn't make sense for him to target his own teammates. So why not vent and take that frustration out on Goku and Vegeta having to embarrass you in ROF, and take that out on Kaba and the Saiyans? But I think his reaction is going to be priceless. I mean, that's the one thing that I'm looking forward to, because if anything, he's going to talk down to them, because they don't know who he is. But I think the overall interaction and his first time seeing them is just going to be
an utter disgust. I can give you his reaction right now. Disgust. He's gonna literally look at them and be like, "You're telling me there's more?" Like it's literally gonna be that. Personally, I think. Okay, so have we found out any word if Frost is gonna be in this tournament or not?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, from the
he's gonna be in the tournament.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, so whenever Frieza figures out that Frost is the space pirate of Universe 6, I feel like he's gonna look over and be like, "Seriously, bro, you didn't take care of them. You had one job. They kill them all. I did it. Why didn't you?"
That's another really good question. How is Frieza going to react to Frost? Like, how are they? Are they going to hate each other? Are they going to love each other? Are they going to?
I think the big thing that everybody's really, another big topic going around is Frost going to show up to the tournament after training and turn golden? Could you imagine if Frieza and Frost both were gold and just decided, fuck everything, let's just try to kill everybody? Who cares?
And it becomes like the next arc.
Yeah. It's a long shot, and I don't ever actually see that happening, but it'd be kind of cool to see them team up, Don't you think it'd be cool to see Frost and Frieza team up and try to kill everybody? That's not going to happen. It's wishful thinking.
But even with that being said, I think that, if anything, if you want to consider Frieza being in hell and not doing anything this whole time, there's no room for improvement. However, there is room for improvement for Frost, because who's to say that he wasn't training this entire time? And if that's the case, if Frost has been training this entire time while Frieza's been dead in that pod, this gives Frost the advantage, because if he does return with a new possible gold form or silver form or whatever it is he comes back with that's equivalent to Frieza's golden form, it'll be a sight to see, because then we can make the comparison and saying, okay, well, where do we put Golden Frieza next to this newly found power that Frost has achieved? But either way, I can see what Frieza just said here, in the fact that Golden Frieza or just regular Frieza having to look at, Frost and saying, you didn't get rid of them. But even with that, I think that Frost is the kind of guy that will actually defend Kabe for one of many reasons. Number one, if you guys remember, back during the Universe 6 tournament, Kaba said that he worked with Frost on the battlefield. He used to fight alongside with him. So that's the advantage that those two have over Goku and Frieza, is the fact that Goku and Frieza never worked together, as opposed to Kaba and Frost did. So let's say in a scenario, if Frieza beats down Kabe, Frost can just jump in and make the save because they have that experience with each other, which ultimately then we can have Frieza look at Frost and saying, how dare you? You're going to defend this filthy monkey instead of just, sticking up for your own kind?
I think Frieza is going to actually want to fight Frost. I think it's going to be Goku versus Toppo.
Of course.
Goku versus Jiren, Vegeta versus Toppo, Android 18 versus Kale, Frieza versus Frost, and Android 17 versus Casserole, because he's like a cyborg or an android too. And then whoever fights what's the Dispo? I don't know who's gonna fight Dispo, but
we're not even counting Hit. I mean, this whole entire thing is just going to be such a mix-up.
Are we talking about the other Pride Trooper, the one that kind of looks like Beerus?
Yeah, that's Dispo, but he's in maybe Krillin.
Dispo.
Krillin will probably fight him, or Piccolo. Or
I could see. Yeah, I would actually like to see Krillin versus him, because he kind of seemed like him and the other guy, the general guy. His name started with a K.
Casserole.
Casserole, yeah, they kind of seemed like they were definitely the weaker of the two of the three of the Pride Troopers.
Well, Casserole.
So it'd be kind of interesting to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get to see him fight. Yeah,
you just brought it up too. Krillin, Frieza having to work with the same guy he killed.
Krillin really thoroughly impressed the shit out of me in
Irony
his training
in
with
that,
Gohan and Goku.
So
he impressed the shit out of me, man. Krillin can come a long way.
Yeah, well, I'm happy it impressed you, but it irritated a lot of people that he can push back a blue Kamehameha. But that's another story. Let's not get too off topic.
Yeah.
So it's very possible that Frieza will actually despise Frost and they could fight each other. But if they don't, do you guys think that Frieza can beat Toppo?
No, I don't think
so.
he can. Toppo held his own against Super Saiyan Blue on a smooth, like it did not look like he was faltering against Super Saiyan Blue. When he seen it, I think he was a little shook at first, but then he stepped up to the plate. And
he did not scratch Goku when Goku was blue. He didn't hit him once.
No.
He didn't hit him once.
I don't feel like we've seen the pinnacle of his power. I don't think we haven't even seen the pinnacle of his power yet, man. The Grand Priest he shut that shit down.
I mean, he really started turning up when he noticed that his suit was being ripped up, and that's when he really wanted to fight Goku, and he took pride in that. I mean, respectfully.
A lot of people think Toppo still had a lot left. I personally don't think so. I think Goku was about to just kill him, literally. But
you really think so?
I don't doubt Goku would have won. I think Goku would have definitely won the fight. I do, but I don't think Toppo would have went down easy. He had a lot more fight left in him, man. I think at that point the fight.
What's interesting about Toppo is I think that he's going to recognize the injustice within Frieza, because I mean he had that perception with Goku in claiming that he was evil. So that would be really awesome if Toppo looks upon Frieza and says, You're an unjust person, like you're an evil person, and for Frieza to acknowledge this and saying, well, yes, sue me, like do something about it, you know.
But I kind of feel like Vegeta has to fight Toppo because Goku's going to be fighting Jiren, you know.
Yeah, Goku doesn't give a shit about Toppo anymore. The moment he found out Jiren was stronger, he's like, I want that guy.
Yeah, right.
All right,
that's going to be the main event.
It is.
Let's move to the next question, and we'll keep this one short because we already touched on it. Will Frieza get a power boost? And I guess the consensus between everybody is no, because he's been in that cocoon in hell and he hasn't been able to train and stuff.
Nah, he's not.
Unless he for some reason gets a little bit of time to go and meditate or something, or punch a punching bag. No, probably not.
He's not going to get his blue form. All right.
I wish people would stop with the form things. Guys, I think as a community, Dragon Ball, we need to understand. Frieza's never going to get a platinum form. He's going to be, if anything, his golden form will improve. Everybody, just give up. It's not happening.
All right, so here's a good question. So is Frieza even good as a strategist or at teamwork? Now, he's never had to fight alongside with anybody else as far as we know. And in terms of strategy, he's always just been able to win his fights through brute power. It doesn't seem like he's ever really, from what we know, had a challenge besides Goku. So, but he was able to do a lot of tricks, and he does have a lot of techniques that when he was fighting Goku, is like, when Goku first turned Super Saiyan, like Frieza did pull a lot of tricks out of his arsenal. So I guess you could say he is a good strategist, but in terms of teamwork, probably terrible. What do you guys think about that?
I think that looking at the way Frieza fights, he's similar to Goku. He drops his guard. Why? Because he's the type of character that would torture you, and when there's an opportunity, I don't think Frieza capitalizes on that, because how many times did Frieza have the opportunity to kill Goku? Many times, but he never capitalized on that opportunity. When he first fought Goku on Namek, he had the opportunity to kill him, never did. When he fought Goku during the ROF arc, did he have the opportunity? Yes, because he was stronger for a short time, but did he take the opportunity? No, he dropped it because he was flexing, he was flaunting, he was taunting, and he was mocking Goku, and he's always been that character. And this is where I feel like, going back to what we just spoke about with Frost, if you look at Frost's execution, right? He poisoned Goku, but right there was a window of opportunity. He took that opportunity in eliminating Goku. Do I think Frieza would have done the same? No, I think that Frieza would have tortured you first, if anything, killed you, before executing, his final agenda and either taking you out or whatever. But I think that as a strategist, sure, I mean, he's a great fighter, he's a prodigy for a reason, but do I think that he has a similar problem to Goku? Yes, in regards of him dropping his guard and always thinking that he's the top dog, that he's the best, that nobody can touch him, that he's held at a pedestal until, someone comes knocking. But overall, I think that he's going to bring something to this tournament. But I think that's similar to how he was before. He's going to go into this fighting a bunch of people. He's going to beat them down. And what is he going to do? He's going to talk down to them. He's going to, flex upon them, and he's going to, just make them, belittle them in a way, as he's done before many times.
I think I think there's a lot of similarities between Goku and Frieza in the matter of, yes, they do mess around way too much during fights. And Frieza's biggest downfall in the Namekian planets fight and Planet Earth's fight is he's like a cat, man. He plays with his food.
Cocky.
He could have took Goku out multiple times. He didn't. On Earth, he could have. He didn't. Frost does capitalize. I think Frieza's a genius tacticianist when it comes to fighting. Strategy, kinda. I mean, he did have a failsafe plan on Earth in Resurrection F. He did, and it worked. He took Goku down. Goku went down. But that's the only time I've ever seen him use a backup plan. Every other time, his whole entire plan was, I will just punch it to death.
But the problem is...
And hasn't worked well.
But the problem is teamwork. Like, he's not going to go save Krillin if Krillin's about to get knocked out. He hates Vegeta and Goku.
He'd let them get knocked over. He would let them go over the edge.
He'd probably be like, I'm going to go back to hell anyways. I don't care if you guys lose the tournament and the universe gets destroyed.
Well, is there even going to be a hell to go back to if Universe 7 is destroyed?
That's a really good question.
Does it take...
destroying the universe
I've been wondering that myself, because... I know that the angels are exempt from, erasure and stuff like that. But what about hell? Because if the gods of destructions aren't amended, aren't immune to that, excuse me. What about hell? Like, what about heaven and hell? Do they, is King Yemma gonna die?
Oh, that's got to be gone too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so King Yemma, all them gotta go, right? So Frieza's not safe no matter what. So I would assume Frieza, he's gonna have a little motivation he's going to have to work with people. Whether he wants to or not, he's going to take Goku's offer because he's not going to have a choice. He's going to go, look, man, you're going to die if not. But then again, I kind of feel like if I was Frieza, I'd look at it and I'd be like, what? So I can just come back to the cocoon? No, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to make sure that you die. You need me and I don't care. Bye-bye. Like,
exactly.
That's what Frieza should be thinking because he's a bad guy,
Because it's like what does someone have to lose when they already lost everything? It's like you have to really offer him something. Either A, I think that they're gonna offer him life. Either he's gonna suggest for life, or the one thing that he's been craving, ever since the beginning of his introduction, which was immortality. Which would make sense if Goku makes the offer and saying, "Hey, we need you," and for Frieza to be like, "Oh, piss off," and then Goku really saying, "Hey, if you don't join us, you'll be erased." And with the exception of Frieza's having to say, "Yeah, but you have to do something for me. Either A, give me my life back and stay away from me, or
it'll
grant
probably
me immortality."
Be the life bit. I don't think they're going to offer him immortality. But Goku has been teasing people with the whole, you get a wish from the Super Dragon Balls, but everybody's not going to get a wish. They're going to have to decide on one major big wish. I think if anything, either A, he's going to appease him with the Dragon Ball wish and Frieza will go for it, or B, maybe he'll get his life back in the promise that he can't do any more wrong and stuff like that and just go roll his one planet where he's from or whatever the fuck Frieza wants to do with his, his life, That's my thought.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And we all know Goku ain't gonna offer him no Zenny. He ain't no
exactly.
android.
Yeah, I
Goku with the false promise of 10 million Zenny a person.
No, yeah. First he said 10, then 118 caught on. Like, what are you talking about?
I figure it has to be life. I don't.
What else
I
could
don't
it
know
be,
else
man?
it could
What
be.
else could you give Lord Frieza? What can you give him? If he gets resurrected, he already has an empire waiting for him. So what can you give him?
Maybe he just doesn't have to be in the cocoon anymore when he returns to hell. He can just be.
Not even that.
That
he just
actually
wishes for
would be
Goku to die.
that'd be an appealing thing for Frieza, because then he can at least sit there and train again.
Yeah,
you know,
he could actually like move around, not be like stuck in that like torture for the rest of eternity. So.
You know what? You might have hit the nail on the head, dude. I think it might be that or life. We'll find out soon enough.
Right.
Couple weeks, man. Couple weeks, about a month. We'll find out.
Okay, so here is the big question, because this is what I know everybody's like a big question that the community is stirring right now, and will Frieza have a turnaround after the tournament? Will Frieza become a good guy, kind of like in the same way that Vegeta and Piccolo and all Tien and all these other characters have turned around, and Goku has basically turned them from a bad guy to a good guy? Will that happen with Frieza?
It's possible, but Frieza is an irredeemable person. Everything he's done, his demeanor, the way he carries himself as a person. I mean, I'm not saying that it can't happen, because it's super. I mean, there's so much fan service going around. I mean, who's to say that it won't? However,
hundreds of planets.
No, exactly. You're right. But here's the foreshadowing that I've noticed in ROF. If you remember when Goku told Frieza, maybe if he wasn't such a bad guy, you would have made to be a perfect sparring partner. So maybe that's a foreshadowing that maybe one day we will see Goku spar with Frieza and having like that perfect quote-unquote sparring partner. However, looking at the way Frieza carried himself, man, he massacred. It's not just the fact that, Vegeta had massacred civilizations before, but Frieza had done it on a massive level, on a massive genocide level, to where he destroyed entire ecosystems just by himself. And I think that with such a person having to be redeemed, I wouldn't think it would make sense, because within the lore of Dragon Ball, he is the perfect villain. He's condescending, he's deceptive, he's manipulative, and he's very powerful, and he's very condescending when it comes to battle. That makes for a great villain. And having to see a villain like that be revoked from his qualities and being turned into one of the quote-unquote good guys, then how many villains do you have to go based off of anymore? I mean, you have Majin Buu, right? He was redeemed. People can say that he was redeemed, and all that's truly left, if that were to happen, is Cell. I mean, because right now, on a technical level, we do have Frieza and Cell, who are the only known villains that have not been redeemed. Kid Buu was reincarnated into Oob, and we have Majin Buu, who's now a good guy. So I think that it'll be a bad idea if that were to happen, but something tells me that by the end of this, Frieza and Goku will shake hands. I don't know what it is, but I think that may happen.
They weren't.
I always wish they would. I always wish they would have brought Raditz
those
back,
two
man.
have lots of pride.
I always wish they would have brought Raditz back. I always wish they would have. It would have been so cool to see what he could have did and even anywhere throughout the Dragon Ball franchise. It would have been cool to see where he could go.
Nappa was one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball Z. I loved his personality.
Oh, Nappa had it bad, bro. Nappa would come after Vegeta.
Quick. He'd come after Vegeta and get smacked right the hell back down. Though. I mean, I don't. In my opinion, though, on the whole, Frieza, is he redeemable? I don't think so. I don't think he's going to be redeemable. No, I don't think he's even. I genuinely think I don't think Frieza's going to care. Frieza's going to get offered something that tempts him to participate in this tournament. He's going to deliver his side of the bargain, and when the tournament's over, he's going to go on his happy merry way. Because the only thing he's going to want is revenge on Goku. He hates Goku. Goku's the only man that ever stepped up and put him down. Then Vegeta was able to step up and put him down, so he's going to want revenge on both of them, really. And when he comes into this tournament, he's not going to have the power to do so. And Frieza's not an idiot. He won't go challenge someone unless he knows he's obtained a new power that's vastly stronger than his last one. So, I think he's going to come in, do it, and get out.
I think you bring up some really, really good points. But to be honest, I'm gonna agree with Alex on this one. I think there is gonna be a turnaround. I think I could.
It'd be awesome if they did.
Totally
make Frieza a good guy.
Yeah, I could totally see him shaking hands with Goku and becoming a good guy after this tournament. And
I truly hope
I could see it happening. I don't want it to, because, dude, Toriyama has this obsession with Frieza. Like, he just won't let the character die. I mean,
he's the most awesome villain.
Well, I mean,
man.
didn't he originally wanted to end Dragon Ball Z with the whole Frieza arc?
Is that true?
I'm not 100%.
I remember like that was that, because that whole thing was like his go-to piece. Like Frieza was the be-all end-all during that time. So, but to have him be redeemed, man, don't you think that takes all those qualities away?
But,
a little, yeah.
I mean,
it's more fan service than anything.
I think
man.
it's there's just too much love for this character. Like, we've seen him in the series like in like 9 different times or 10 different times or something, and he just won't die. you know, and I think there's just too much love for this character. For whatever reason, Toriyama loves this guy, and he just won't let him die. And I think because of that, I think it's very, very possible that you could see a turnaround and he actually becomes a good guy. Now, I did talk to a lot of my fans and on the spoilers, and I was like, thumbs up if you think they should have brought back Cell. And like literally like hundreds and thousands of people were like, oh my God, they should have totally brought back Cell over Frieza. I mean, if you think about it, Cell is like OP as hell. Like he can learn, and he could probably learn like blue form. He can learn, like he has everybody's abilities. He has everybody's cells, everybody's talents, like everybody's, you know, genetics and everything. Like he literally has like no limits to his potential.
Yeah, no, Cell was always one of my favorite villains. But the reason why I always held Frieza as the top villain, in my opinion, is because Frieza is the type of villain that has the abilities that are just full on ridiculous potential, super strong power. He doesn't need to have any type of regenerative abilities, none of that, and he can still hang in a fight. Whereas you got villains like Cell and Boo, you can blow to smithereens that are ridiculously powerful, and then they just come back. Frieza has the actual. I feel like he has a much more mortal view on a fight. He doesn't have to worry about getting blown in half and going, oh, I can just regenerate. Like he has to actually care more about a fight. That's why I've always thought he was a more terrifying villain.
That's true. Yes.
But I mean, yeah, I think it's a possibility he could get redeemed. I really hope that he doesn't, for the sake of I like Frieza being the bad guy. He's the most awesome villain in my eyes. He's the most terrifying one.
Well, of course, in your eyes.
I wouldn't mind if him and Goku kind of...
In your eyes, because you're a Frieza voice actor.
No. It has nothing to do with that. Again, but just right there, I'm a voice actor, man. I do a good Frieza impression. Frieza's always been my favorite villain, so I booted up a YouTube channel as him, and I was lucky enough to be blessed enough that it was successful. So thank you to everybody if you're a subscriber of mine. I appreciate it. You rock. I love you. But yeah, I just think... would it be cool if him and Goku kind of at least made somewhat amends and shook hands? I guess so. But I think if Frieza loses that drive to pass Goku, where does he go from there, you know? Maybe they do make a friendly rivalry and he kind of takes the Vegeta side of things and he's just, I need to surpass him, so whatever, you know, I'll keep him at, you know, at ear's length so I know what he's up to and if I need to get stronger, that type of thing, so... We'll see.
Yeah, kind of ending it like on a mutual level, but I can definitely see him being scummy. There's no way, that's in his nature. He hates Goku so much.
Hates Goku, Vegeta, any Saiyan.
You know, everything's behind us now.
Filthy monkey. I hate them all. Like, they don't like each other, and we'll find out. It's not that far away, guys. We're gonna find out.
Okay, and that brings us to the last question because he hates them all. He hates Saiyans. So how is he gonna react to especially the female legendary Super Saiyan Kale?
That's going to be a sight to see because, you know, this is also a fan service to all the people that wanted to see Broly back in the day. What if he fought Frieza? What if he fought this person and that person? Well, it's not technically Broly, but it's something very similar to that. So seeing Kale having to come across Frieza, or Frieza having to come across Kale, I can see Frieza underestimating the females just because they're females and they're obviously Saiyans until... similar to how Kaba is pushing Kale to achieve the Super Saiyan strength, I can see Kale bringing it to Frieza. However, realistically, if Frieza were to, you know, transform into his golden state, I don't think the females were to stand a chance. I don't think Kaba, Kale, or Kali stand a chance against Golden
I don't think
Frieza,
even a legendary Super Saiyan could compare to a to Golden Frieza.
Even while she's in her Berserk mode, that doesn't mean that she has the quality and set that, you know, that can surpass the ROF Frieza that we saw before. No, I think that over time, if Frieza stays the way he is in that golden form, that may give other fighters the advantage because obviously the more he stays in that form, the more pressure that he puts on his body and the likelihood of him having to drop that form. But I think that seeing those Saiyans, he's going to be disgusted. He's going to fight them, and I think overall he may win if he uses his golden form. But I think the people that we really have to look out for, because Frieza's known for testing the waters when it comes to these kind of things. I think that the characters that we really need to look after is characters like Hit, characters like Jiren, and other mysterious fighters that we haven't seen in the other universes. Because we all know that Frieza's going to say, well, who's next? And I would love for Frieza to beat down a couple of guys and look on over and say, well, who else wants it? Until he bumps into Hit.
That would
be a good fight because everyone wants
that. Would be epic,
wondering, like, okay, what if Golden Frieza
I would love to see
Frieza
Frieza's what the fuck face whenever Hit does a time skip.
Yeah. Frieza.
Oh yeah,
Frieza
of course. Like, what the hell's going on?
I heard a rumor. I haven't looked into it because I needed to get caught up, and I'm still 2 episodes back right now. Is Hit getting nerfed for this tournament?
I actually made.
We don't know. We don't know
a
anything
video
about
on that because the World of Void doesn't have any time or space, so it's.
I'm gonna go watch that video then. I'm gonna go watch that video probably tonight. I'm gonna watch your video because I'm curious, man. I want to know.
Yeah, we have no information on Hit right now. What's actually funny is they're keeping him away, which I think is pretty cool. You don't want to give away your top guns too quick. But right now, as in terms of Hit or Jiren or any of those guys, there's no information on whether or not they're going to be nerfed or if they're going to be supremely more powerful.
I mean, another thing though is Hit's been alive for 1,000 years. I don't think we've even touched the top of the base of what he can do technique wise. I'm sure he has hundreds of other techniques that we haven't seen yet, man.
Of course,
Bro,
he's an
I'm
assassin.
calling it right now. We're gonna see Golden Hit up in this bitch, and
Nah, hell no.
Yeah, but I actually don't think
I think
it's
Hit is gonna take down some. Golden
I don't think
people,
it's a
but
Frieza race,
not
guys. I don't
Golden
think
Hit.
he's a Frieza race. I think he just kind of looks like one.
He's not. I'm just kidding. No,
Okay, good. I was gonna say
I
no,
think
Mastar,
with
no.
the rules, with the world of the void and everything, technically it shouldn't work for Hit, but I almost guarantee you that he's going to be able to do it anyways. I mean, even if he can't, he's still like really strong. I mean, he was smacking around Goku with just like regular punches and stuff. Like, as far as we know, like the time skip just moves his body around. It doesn't necessarily make him stronger by any means. So he's still like his power level, whatever the hell it is still like incredibly high. So, I think he can like whoop ass regardless. I think he would.
Well, I'm sure everybody's been training. I'm sure. I mean, Goku made Hit want to improve. So I'm sure everybody's been training. I guarantee Champa's probably hit up like, hey man, get ready for a tournament or something. Because all the gods of destruction have been contacting their fighters from the universes. So if he told Hit about it, I'm sure Hit took some time to prepare. Because Hit's gonna know after his fight with Goku on Earth. He's gonna be thinking Goku's been spending time improving. I need to improve. Because they kind of stalemated on Earth a little bit there.
Oh, I hated that. I mean, I think once Hit finds out that Goku's in this, he's all in.
He's gonna go all in. Goku made him realize after
He's
1,000
all in.
years, I can improve. I just never wanted to. That's why I love Frieza. Frieza and Hit, in my opinion, are two of the coolest characters.
They're the same
they
way.
just didn't improve until they realized they needed to. They were just, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just get better too. And then they just jumped ridiculously, immensely further.
I mean, it's crazy you think that like these life forms like Hit and Frieza, compared to the insane amount of training that Goku and Vegeta go through, and then these two guys like in like a couple months,
it's scary, dude. It really is.
Gain the strength of like what took these people like years and years
of training
to accomplish
years.
just through their like mutated life form, whatever the hell it is.
Goku had to die a whole bunch of times. Like these guys were just like, you know what? Fuck it, man. I'm just gonna do it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Boom. Just jumps forward in power. It's going to be very interesting to see the Tournament of Power. I can't wait to see. A Battle Royale is, I think, the coolest thing they could have done. This is the most fan service arc I've ever seen in any anime ever, and it's going to be interesting to see where Toyotaro and Toriyama take it. Very much so.
And there are still way more surprises to come, too, so you can only imagine what
Super's
they
not
got
ending
planned.
after the Tournament of Power. I don't see it ending anytime soon. It's doing way too well now.
No.
I think we're going to get another 100 episodes out of it.
I think what's going to happen is they're going to recruit Frieza. They're going to promise him his life back. Somehow they're going to get him brought back. And then basically Goku's going to like wish him on his merry way. And then we're going to get this huge time skip and go into like a Oob arc. Because Toyotaro said they're leading towards the end of Dragon Ball Z, whatever the hell that means. That can mean a few different things. But my personal opinion is that's a time skip leading up to the Oob arc.
They're pretty much leading into, at the end of Dragon Ball Z, they were at the tournament and stuff like that, and Oob was no longer a kid. He was a teenager pretty much. So that's why, when Dende said to Goku on the lookout, he said he's just a child now, but, I want you to train him in the future. It'd be really cool if you did. So I think that's what they're leading up to. Super's going to end there at that tournament at the end of Z is kind of what they're getting to. But the big thing that you said, where's it going to go after this, is a question. I feel like Super's kind of blowing its load a little early on climatic stuff. Don't you think this should have been the end of Dragon Ball Super, this big tournament? Where do they go from here?
Yeah, because you have to ask yourself. It's like how much bigger do you get by involving?
What villain's going to come after this?
Daishinkan, 2 Omni Kings, 12 gods, 12 angels, 70 fighters.
I think this should have been the end of Dragon Ball Super. So
it should have.
Where are they going?
But then again, just like One Piece, right? One Piece has been going on forever now. Like, how many arcs do we have for One Piece? It's like a dozen. So similar to that, there's so much more.
That's a good point.
For them to tell more stories.
What will Toyotaro and Toriyama come up with? I'm sure they're good. I'm sure they'll come up with something. Obviously, they're going to come up with something.
You could, there's one popular theory that Goku wishes all of the universes back. And because he does that, he wishes Universe 13 through 18 back by accident, which are ones that the Omni King has destroyed, which would lead into like a kind of like fallen angel, fallen god. The gods that were destroyed are brought back, and that could lead into a whole new arc.
That's an interesting theory. That would be a cool arc. I didn't think about that.
That'd be a cool arc.
I didn't think about that. That's an interesting theory, man. Maybe.
I just truly hope they actually like drag this tournament out. Like even though it's 48 minutes, you have to ask yourself, it's like how long can they drag out 48 minutes?
We've seen how long we could drag out 5 minutes for. Come on,
you know what I'm saying?
Don't make that wish, Unreal. Don't do it.
I really hope that they focus more on like showcasing battles and like character
another
development and stuff.
Z Planet Namek fight. We don't need
Dude, that I guarantee you that the Tournament of Power is going to last a long time. I mean, well,
it's going to last a while.
I shouldn't guarantee that, but I mean, it's going to be at least like probably, 4 episodes or something like that. I mean,
I think it's going to go on for a lot.
Look at how much they're building it up with this, like.
I could see the Tournament of Power lasting like 10 episodes. Realistically, I could see it lasting at least 10.
Yeah,
honestly, I think it's going to go at least 10.
I could see that too. Something like that.
Yeah, it's going to go at least 10, man. They're not going to just rush through this. They've been building it up way too much, dude. It's going to be at least 10 episodes. We're going to get like an arc, like we're going to get like a season length. Like, animes are usually typically 10 to 12 episodes a season. We're going to get like a season worth of Super and just out of this arc probably.
I think so too.
They actually did a pretty good job on trying to hold this off for like this summer because it's like the summer's biggest fight. It's like you're going to see like 80 guys just go duking at it. So I think that probably by the end of the summer we're going to have a conclusion to all this because there's still a lot more to talk about, like whether or not there's going to be, if the Omni King is going to want to interrupt and say, I'm bored, let's not do this, or something else happens. Who knows? Because right now, in their current direction, there's many possibilities as to how this may end. And of course, many of us have our own theories and opinions as to what may or may not happen. But what I think brings us joy is the anticipation once June is here, because once June is here, this thing is going to start. And once this thing starts, I can assure you that we're going to see some of the best battles I think we've ever seen in Dragon Ball.
Man. I hope so.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's gonna be a really interesting tournament, and I think we're all gonna get kick-ass show.
Fans are going to be going crazy over the tournament.
And you guys can all expect Lord Frieza to show up and kick mad people in the dick, hit them with KOK bars and all that good stuff right there. All of it. I will make sure that all the monkeys die. I'm going straight for Kaba, Wiz Khalifa, whatever her name is. All of them. They're going down. All of them.
Oh man, the irony in everyone charging Goku in the beginning and Frieza's like, ha, I told you, see, I hated him
Kill
first.
The monkey! And he's like, oh shit, no, I need him, wait, I've got to help the monkey!
Like everyone's trying to like defend him and Frieza's the only one just like watching. He's like, oh no, go ahead, get him.
Whis did say to Beerus, he was just like, when this shit starts, they're all charging Goku.
and Frieza's not going to care. He's going to be like, well, I told you, I hated him first.
No, I think Frieza's going to have one dramatic realization. I really feel like it'd be kind of comedic. He'd be like, yes, kill him, yes! And then Piccolo's going to look over like, we need him. He's like, shit!
I could see something like that.
I could see something like that have a real comedic effect where we get to see a Frieza funny moment. Can we please have that? Please, let me get that. That'd be amazing.
God.
Gonna be a lot.
That moment where Goku's on the edge of the ring about to get knocked
Frieza
out
has to save him, bro. And could you imagine him looking over like, I didn't want to do it.
Imagine that scenario.
Oh, man.
Like grinding his teeth, like, damn it.
Frieza's like, don't thank me.
Yeah, literally.
Don't you dare thank me.
Okay, guys, so I just want to say thank you so much to Unreal End Gaming and Lord Frieza for doing this podcast, this video with me. Their channels, the links are in the description. I've also included some icons on the screen so you guys know that that's the right channel. Please do me a huge favor and go subscribe to these guys. They're great guys, great channels. They're awesome, just Dragon Ball fans as well, just like you and me, and show them your support. That would mean a lot to me. Unreal and Lord Frieza, you guys have anything you want to say?
I just want to say thank you, Lord Frieza, and thank you, Mastar, for having us. I want to say thank you all for watching, and we truly hope you enjoyed. I mean, we're all Dragon Ball fans. At the end of the day, we all have different opinions, but I hope you guys enjoyed the discussion, because it was a fun discussion.
Fun. Absolutely.
And I just wanted to say to both of you, thank you for having me, and I hope you guys had as much fun as I did, because this was pretty fun to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Same for me. Thank you both for having me, and I appreciate it. It was an awesome video. Like Unreal said, we're all just voicing opinions and stuff, guys. None of this is set in stone solid. This is just all our ideas. And, just pretty much a lot of the things that you guys have been saying in the comments and stuff on all of our channels. I've been getting a hell of a lot of comments on mine about me coming back to the Tournament of Power. So, Lord Frieza is very excited for that. And if you like Lord Frieza as a character and you want to watch him play funny video games and cool reactions, definitely check me out, guys. I promise I will have you laughing your asses off. Just go check out my channel, watch 1 or 2 videos. Check out Honey Pop. You'll laugh your ass off, I promise you.
Honey Pop.
Oh, you gotta watch Lord Frieza play Honey Pop, dude. It's hilarious, dude. It's fucking hilarious, dude.
I'll check it out. All right, guys. So thanks for watching the discussion, and I will see you guys soon for another video. Have a wonderful weekend. Later on.